Hey everyone, back for more updates. It is 12:39 on a Friday, and started off, left around 9 a.m., delivered a couple orders of PCH to Carpinteria, and back. Then I went up to Oakview, now I'm heading back. I don't have a job, but hopefully by the time I get down there, or once I get down there, I'll pick up another job. About halfway through our day delivering Target groceries. I just delivered some Vons also. So anyway, heading back into Ventura, and just wanted to give everyone an update on where I'm at reinventing myself after 50. I wouldn't say there's tons of progress, other than feeling more optimistic in general, feeling more just feeling hopeful, I guess, that there's something brewing, something's going to work out here. And I just want to take you on the journey because I think as things evolve, it'll be interesting and exciting. So we will see. So far, branding, design work. Gosh, I haven't had a job since last spring. I did an album package for Third Force, to jazz group, and it was an album that went #1 on Billboard. So that's cool. And then before that, I hadn't had a job in doing design work since the previous year. So August 2024. Yeah, that's kind of the last, big paycheck, so to say. Yeah, that's it. So in between that, it's just been just figuring out a way to survive. And then again, last November, October 31st to be exact, I, with the help of my brother, was led to Shopify to deliver for Target. So, I mean, it's a grind. I mean, it's like I probably make $2,000 a month, and then there's gas expenses and car expenses. I mean, it's surprising that it's legal, I should say. But if you really hustle and you're lucky and you get good tips, you can feel a little sense of dignity or integrity or something like that. But it's all good. I'm really not complaining. I go out, work hard, make enough to pay the bills, and then move on. So anyway, my girlfriend got a promotion. She's going to be managing where she's at, which is cool. Congratulations to her. And I think that's helping her feel better about the situation, because my situation's definitely probably not helping. But yeah, no, just on a personal level, what I've been tuning into is, what's been fascinating to me is just that I've really lost almost all interest in who I used to be as a person, getting away from all the stressful dynamics with clients and all that stuff is, I can't say I miss it, and, just finding myself working for free too much or giving too much. And I think I was naive, I'm the kind of person that gets really excited and I just want to be helpful. I think in hindsight, I had a lot of clients that were kind of taking advantage of that a little bit. So, life lessons. I think it's okay if you want to give and be somebody who's a lover in the world. But you can't do it without a lot of awareness about other people's nature and intentions. Some people are snakes, and they're out there, maybe more than you might think. So yeah, it's interesting. Some people, they plot, they look at situations, they look at people, and they look at what they can get out of it instead of how they can contribute to a collective well-being for everyone, So that's weird. And the other really weird thing I had was, when I was doing brand development, I got really sick of the shallowness of all of it. So I was trying to focus on more kind of positive, constructive businesses, natural products, nonprofits, even like entertainment. I consider a human service. Music, stuff like that, arts. But I found that even those people were kind of the same as anyone else. Just lots of personal interest. And it just fascinated me that we're in a world where people really don't believe in God. They say they do, but they don't. Because if they did, they would act differently. Like if you think there's a feedback system in this universe that's gonna respond to your choices and your behavior, you have different behavior. You have behavior that has integrity to it. So, and most people don't act that way. So it kind of makes you realize, like, most people kind of don't believe in God, and most things that people do are for image and clout and all that stuff. And I can't say I haven't dabbled in that. When I was in environments like my marriage years ago, she was very materialistic. I kind of played that game, and I had a corporate thing going, and I tried it, man, but damn, dude, if that's not your nature, it spits you up hard. So I think if you have a nature that's more based in integrity and wanting to do the right thing, recognizing that your behavior has consequences, you should be really careful what environment you're putting yourself in and how honest you're being with yourself about who you really are. I think for me is I always equated financial success with being fake. Like you had to play a role, and I tried to do it the best I could with the most integrity I could, but ultimately I just keep getting spit out whenever I try to be something I'm not. So I don't know, man. The universe seems to have other plans for me, and if you're struggling with that, man, all I can say is just trust the process, be honest, be a failure, be worthless. Out of that will come something fertile, so which has made me think a lot about also recently is as I'm kind of letting go of this past identity is really kind of how useless I feel, or untalented, or not good at things that I thought I was or said I was. I don't think I want to be everything to everyone. I don't think I want to be an expert at too many things. I don't want to stress myself out trying to be all these things. So, and it's not so much that I don't have talents. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like things you're not passionate about, right? Like, why bother? So I've been through this before. I've been through a couple dark nights in the soul, and when there's an old part of you that's dying, what happens is you feel like you're dying, like you are dying. You're actually going to die now, And I think it's important to know the difference, that the attachment we feel to old identities, you're not dying. Everything's going to come back in some way, right? And just being smart about that, not getting all hung up. So I'm just letting my old person die right now. And I don't know, just getting to know myself again. I don't really know who I am. I don't really know what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about truth and honesty. That's one thing I'm passionate about. I went through relationships, romantic relationships, and I always thought I had to kind of present myself a certain way to be accepted or to be loved. Like 3.5 years ago when I approached my current girlfriend, we had known each other for 3 years. 3 years before that, we really liked each other. But we started connecting, and I just wrote her this long text message, and I was really honest with her about struggles I was going through and dental work and just all these things that I knew that would make it where she wouldn't like me, and so I just said, hey, maybe I really do like you, maybe we can check in with you in a year or something like that, and we can kind of just see where we're at. I didn't want to be a burden, and again, I didn't want to be in a situation where later on she finds something out about me and she's just like, I don't like you, So, and it was interesting. I was convinced she would lose interest immediately, and it was exactly the opposite. She said, "There's never a time in life that you're not going through something, and if you really care about somebody, you want to do it together. We can get through it together, And so that was awesome. It was like, it wasn't like we had been in a relationship and then reached a point facing challenges together. We started it like that, and she was down with that, and I was just like blown away. And little did I know that during that 3-year period that we knew each other before we started dating, she was going through some really heavy stuff. I mean, heavy stuff that I had no idea. So that's her personal business, but it's nice to be in a situation where you're accepted for who you are. And I think what I'm trying to share is that, it's not always about other people. You have to be the one to first accept yourself for who you are and be fine with it and be vulnerable and be willing to be turned down and be willing to be looked down upon if you want to attract the person toward you that is going to be that for you, And I mean, I'm just saying that from my own experience, man, whatever it is, career, relationships, so now I'm kind of on this path of like, dude, honesty on every level, and it brings you peace, man. It's like you don't have a script to keep up on. You don't have a whole persona you need to like stay up to date with, or any of that stuff, and your nervous system starts to chill out a little bit, So anyway, it's been a really interesting shift of perspective, but I think what's happening is that's trickling into other parts of my life now. It started with my relationship, now it's trickling into career and all these other things. So I'm excited because if you can be accepted for who you are in a romantic relationship, maybe that can happen in your career too, So, I have a lot to offer. I have a whole bunch to offer, and I don't feel concerned about that at all. It's just I can't see how that's going to connect or with who or with what, but I don't know, maybe that's not my fucking job to do. Maybe it's the universe's job. I don't know. So, I mean, if I did as good as I did in the past, not being as honest with myself as I could, and kind of wearing a mask to be accepted by people, the wrong people, by the way, imagine what it could be like if I wasn't. It might be amazing. So I'm open to the idea that me and my authentic self, which I never thought by itself had enough value to really connect with the world, can connect with the world, So that is the process we are witnessing by doing these videos and also creating this account. This isn't my main account. This isn't even my business account. I did this, as an opportunity to explore this level of honesty. It's like, I'm delivering groceries. I'm having difficulties financially. I'm having difficulties with health stuff. I'm having difficulties in my family, getting kicked out of the house and starting over. Those are all things I would never be comfortable enough admitting, And, I think there's also a lot of people from my past attached to those other accounts and stuff like that. I just wanted to, right? So I just want a fresh start and be like, I'm not who I used to be up until now. And if this is a significant time of change, then let's create a platform for that, So anyway, that is my update for today. I'm going to go finish another half a day of work here. And, I guess the moral of the story is be yourself unapologetically. Really, God, even your shadow side, your subconscious, which is the body, like, there's got to be space for all of it, man. That's how we get free. That's how we feel better. Stop creating distortions in the world, right? Just by being honest. They say it's the best policy, and they say that it'll set you free, so there must be something to it, right? So, next level honesty, folks. All right, I will give you an update shortly. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.